Hello guys, this is me Olena. I expect you will ask me lots of questions. Хотя скільки там подивилась? Lots of questions like how are you? So I will tell you, so far we are alive. But I'm sorry, I cannot tell you that we are fine and safe because we are not safe. You know that Russia keeps launching missiles towards Ukraine, towards Kyiv. And this morning there was a missile that hit a multi-floor building in Kyiv. And 3 floors basically fell down, were damaged, and there were people under the debris, and there are injured people. We do not have yet information about any deaths. I hope there will not be. I know that one of the injured people who was taken to the hospital was a 6-year-old girl, just like as old as Taras. She was just sleeping in her bed, and all of a sudden in the morning, like 6 a.m., a missile hit her home and destroyed it. Right now we have the air raid siren again in Kiev. Me with kids, we are hiding. We are sitting in the corridor. Here they are. Let me show it to you. Here they are. Here they are. Yeah, it's terrible and it needs to be stopped. And it's about constant fear, John. You are right. It's about constant fear. Now, for some time when nothing happens in Kyiv, you like relax a little, you feel less of fear. But, you know, from time to time when you hear some loud noise, there is a panic attack, then you understand it's not an explosion and you feel relief. Yes, but when you understand it is the explosion, you feel fear, like a lot of fear. So the recent air raid we kind of ignored, but this one we are not ignoring. And while we are here, it's almost, it keeps lasting for about an hour, I think. I've heard an explosion again in Kiev. Yes, Mink, it's very stressful. It's very stressful and it's very, very sad. Darina is sleeping in my hands. She was eating and now she fell asleep. This is good for her. The bomb shelter is too far away and I don't think we will come back there in the nearest future. I hope we will not. So what we do... Тарас, не ламай сумочку, будь ласка, не рви, вона для басейну треба. So while we have this air raid siren, we are sitting in the corridor. The tricky thing is that sometimes our system does not see the missiles, and first you have the explosion, first it hits, and then you have the air raid siren. Like, to be 100% safe in Ukraine, you just have to leave Ukraine. That's the problem. So wherever you are under danger in this country. Of course, if you compare the danger of being in Kiev and, for example, in Donetsk region, this is very different. Of course, here it's more safer and less dangerous than in Kramatorsk, for example. Bridget, thank you for your words about Elena. Please be careful. Let me tell you one thing. There is nothing I can do to be more careful. I mean, but just do not feel guilty. Yes, you are not guilty. But I think all of us, we are responsible for what is going on our planet, because it is our planet. And the fact that Putin is still able, more than 4 months, he is still able to send missiles towards the capital of an independent country because he wants it to belong to him. It's not good. And we, all of us, are responsible for this evil that is happening right now. And each of us, I feel we can do something to stop it. What you can do, for example, you can put pressure, you can put pressure on your politicians to, to keep helping Ukraine and help Ukraine more, because unfortunately what we receive is a lot, but it's not enough. Russia destroys much more than we are receiving, and we are losing much more than we are receiving, and the world gives more money to Russia by buying their oil and gas than they are losing money because of sanctions. And it looks like they do not care, because they feel that they are, like making something very huge and important for their Russian empire. They want to belong to empire, they want to be great, and they think that killing a couple of thousands or millions of people in Ukraine, it's like, it is worth it, because their aim is great. Yeah. Thank you for your prayers. Could I ask you as well, after praying, to I basically don't know what you can do. I don't know your situation. I think that you, in your situation, you maybe know more what you can do to help Ukraine. The fact is that Russia keeps, attacking. They keep sending those missiles towards Ukraine, killing our people, killing our children, killing our fathers, our mothers, our sisters and brothers, like the people of Ukraine. This is the fact. What you can do to stop it, what I can do to stop it, I don't know. Maybe the biggest thing that I did, I just let my husband go to the army of Ukraine and stay over there as long as needed. This is what I did. What else? I'm doing this YouTube channel, telling you what is going on and how it feels, and maybe you can feel how much afraid I am right now. And maybe you can feel this, danger that is above my head, and you understand that the same danger is above each mother of Kyiv, each person. And there are people in Ukraine that are in even bigger danger and have more losses than us, because there are already people who lost their lives, lost their loved ones, relatives, lost their limbs, health, and even lost their hope and lost their homes. And there is so much of suffering here, and so much people hurt, and a lot of pain. And the problem that it keeps happening every day. I don't know. I think with that, it would be much better to do something very decisive, something very, like, to end it as soon as possible. But this something is not a peace treaty with Putin. This is for sure. This is 100%. But when yesterday I posted on my Facebook a post about Darina's birthday, and I put there the hashtag Stop Russia, Arm Ukraine Now. Some people that I'm sure wished me well, they wrote Stop the War. It shocks me and upsets me about Stop the War. It is Russia that needs to be stopped. When you write Stop the War, it's like you ask, like Ukraine to give up. If Ukraine gives up, the war will stop probably, but people here will not stop being killed and injured and humiliated. There will be just more of arrests and humiliation and repressions, and it will be even worse for local people. And we've seen this 8 years ago, yes, when Russia took Crimea and took the east of Ukraine. and Russia was not punished. Just what happened next, Russia became sure that it will not be punished and that they can do more and more and more. And this is what we have as a result, the 4 months of the full-scale war. And there is nothing that can escalate the conflict more than the fall of Ukraine, or a peace treaty, which is the fall of Ukraine, which is capitulation of Ukraine. I feel with all of my heart that there is no other way for us than to fight and win. There is no other way how we can end this war. We have to fight and we have to win. And Russia should be so defeated, so weak, that it will never be able to attack again its neighbors. Georgia, Baltic states, Belarus, Poland, Ukraine, or the other countries around it. Yes, I agree with you, Bridget, that it will be only worse if Ukraine signed peace treaty right now. Because right now this peace treaty would make legitimate, the territories that Russia took by force, like more of the territories that they took by force, and with a lot of blood, it will be legitimately like belong to Russia now, and they will use this territory, to build their more of military systems and prepare for the new attack. And they will not give up till they get Kyiv, and they will advance and advance and advance. Putin is not hiding this anymore. Now he is not. They are not talking much about denazification right now, about imaginable Nazis in Kyiv. Right now, he just confessed that he wants the Russia to become a great empire, and this is why he, like in barbaric times, like in bad old times, after the First World War, after the Second World War, I don't know, I thought that this full-scale wars is, it's like somewhere in the past, that people became wiser and more civilized. But you see, there is a country that didn't become like this. They still believe that they need it, And it's not only Putin who just arrested the whole country and forced people to go to the war. No, it's the Russian society that right now in such a condition that they wanted a leader, who could be so fucking great. And people who were against it, they are arrested, they emigrated. And it's a big discussion what to do with Russia, because obviously we will need to coexist at some point, and we will need to negotiate at some point, but I don't know how it is possible. There is so much of blood on their hands, and right now, for this, first of all, they need to pull out, to take away all their soldiers, all their troops from the Ukrainian territory, to give us back what belongs to us, because the borders of the countries should not be attacked. We made a deal about this after the Second World War, and Putin, he broke it, and this could cause, effect of dominoes and cause more and more of the wars all over the world, right? So they have to pull out the troops. Putin, somebody next after Putin, if he dies today, whatever, they just need to take their troops away. And then we can negotiate how we can coexist. But for the moment, I don't see any desire from the Russian side to stop They are not sorry at all. They just keep attacking. They just keep killing. Yesterday morning, there was more than 40, almost 50 missiles launched to Ukraine from the territory of Belarus, from the Russian airplanes. Radu Bogdan, Slava Russia, he says. Radu, please explain us, how can you support Russia? How can you do this? Russia that invaded the independent country and kills local people. How can you say Slava, which means glory? How? I mean, if you turn Russian TV, of course, they will tell you how. Recently, I posted on Facebook this extracts from the interview of the director of Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg about great Russian culture. So the guy who is the director of Hermitage Museum, which is the super museum in St. Petersburg for the last 30 years, he said that, yes, we are the empire and we are militarists and we are empire guys. And for the great targets, for the great aims, you can kind of compromise some lives on the territory of the country that you attack. It's not a direct quote, but the sense is like this. He said that the culture of Russia, what do they do with the culture? It's their special operation towards Europe. They want to attack the world with their culture, the culture of Russia. And when they started the war in Ukraine, their exhibitions were all over the world, all over Europe. And people need to live with this. Oh, guys, do you need cheapest sex dating find and whatever? Oh, this is my sister who came. She was not afraid of the air raid and came here by public transport, but keeps working even despite this air raid siren. Okay, stay safe. It's hard to stay safe when you are not safe. The only way how we can stay safe is for Russia to stop attacking us. In this case, we will be able to stay safe with great pleasure. With great pleasure. But for now, it is not possible, unfortunately. In the description of this video, there is a link to the website of Pritula Foundation. He's a volunteer who helps the army to buy drones. Recently, even Bayraktars. They collected fundraised money enough to buy 5 Bayraktars, even more than they wanted, or 4 Bayraktars, or 5. I mean, a lot of them. Just a second. Привіт. Ви в коридорі. Ти не чула, що бабка, коли ти їхала? Нічого такого? Нічого.
Може, я
Щось знала.
дзвони Марині.
І
Зараз
що?
якраз туди на пару днів.
На пару місяців, на пару років.
Ну, Віра позвонила, зараз каже, що закрили магазин. Відправляють їх додому.
Ну, тому що атака йде на Київ. Okay, guys, my sister arrived. Say hello, sister. Sister, hey, say hello. Hello. Your intuition always. Obey your intuition always. Okay, I will obey my intuition. Darina is sleeping so sweet. The fact that if I put her on the bed or anywhere, she will wake up. If there are any mothers here, they can understand me. If I put put her right now, she wakes up. If I keep her on my hands, she will keep sleeping. Wow. Look. She is sweet. Yesterday she was 8 months old. Да, я попрощаюсь и це потім. Ой, ладно. Заважаєш. Окей, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for thinking about us. Thank you for your support. Little monster is sleeping. Yeah, little monster is sleeping. We have to defeat Russia. Please help us. Only you yourself know what you can do best to help Ukraine and to help the free world. Thank you. Goodbye.